As the United States' pressure on South Africa continues to mount and further strains relations between the nations, the ANC remains resolute on its implementation of its foreign policy and principles with no compromise in its sight.
There are issues of progressive internationalism which we cannot compromise on. That includes the issue of the ICJ. So, on the ICJ is an issue of international law, which has to be respected by everyone. And South Africa, this is a matter which we will not withdraw from the court, which we have already put. It's a matter that we believe it has to be dealt with on its merit. So this is a matter that we will not compromise on.
South Africa saw the U.S. under the Trump administration develop an interest in the country, with Trump resting on the false claims of a white minority being targeted in South Africa as justification to do so. It is, however, believed that the shift in relations may lay in South Africa's support for the Palestinians. The U.S. has fast made policy changes that do not spare South Africa politically and economically, raising questions on the status of the mutually beneficial relationships, such as the future of AGOA, which is set to expire in 2027.
In a trade, it's a two-way process. Both countries benefit. So, as and also with the U.S., we remain ready to engage on trade agreements that are mutually beneficial for both countries.
Furthermore, escalated tensions have seen lobby groups in the U.S. call for targeted sanctions against South African leaders, a move the ANC described as the quote-unquote price to pay for justice.
We hear that there is a good lobby around that, but of course we know that throughout our struggle, leaders and members of the liberation movement had to sacrifice. And even in this particular period, we will actually continue to pay the price of standing for justice, for humanity, and for equality and respect for the rule of law, as well as various other processes that inform our stance and how we relate with other nations.
South Africa, which is chairing the G20, will hand over to the U.S. and South Africa later this year. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Boksburg.